beautiful morning to be leaving for the Bahamas. I and Abigail are working on the anchor. We're a little shallow this morning. It's a little sketchy. 10 knots of wind. It's the day, guys. Today we are leaving the country. I'm like super nervous, but super excited, but like I don't even know what I feel. So many things. So come with us as we go to the Bahamas. Previously on Spoondrifter, we spent 3 years in a boatyard, bringing our 40-year-old hurricane-damaged sailboat back to life. Todd, I, and 4 of our 10 kids knew nothing about boats when we started, but with time, we have repowered, re-rigged, and turned this boat into a home that's ready for the next big adventure before we sail to Florida and leave the U.S. for bluer waters. All right, we've gotten off the anchor and we are threading our way through a ton of crab pots to get back out. Now we're approaching the bridge. So how much wind do we have?
10.9.
On our nose?
On the beam. We can sail, but we want to get under the bridge first, right?
Yep.
Because I'm not as comfortable yet sailing under a bridge, especially one that's known to have strong current and shoaling.
Are you excited about the Bahamas?
Yes, I am. I have a little bit of trepidation right now of going over the reef on the way out of Hawks Channel. But I'm told it's no big deal. But yet, there's also shallow spots and rocks. And that's like, pick a spot. Really? Pick a spot.
It's so funny that you're nervous about something that's like 2 hours from here. I'm nervous about getting into Bimini because...
How many hours from here is that?
Yeah, it's 24 hours. But the challenge is the winds might be coming from the west. And if they're not really light winds, we won't be able to go into Bimini. We will have to keep going, and that's not a big deal. The winds are going to be okay for us to keep going. And yeah, we'll go over to the Berries and Great Harbor Key and check in there. So we kind of have a couple contingency plans depending on what's happening when we get there. And you know, we know what the forecast is, and we know that the forecast is just a guideline. That's the old causeway. And a pretty boat over there. Not a fish.
Yeah, you got something.
Oh, look at this water, you guys. It's so beautiful. Hi, also sitting. Are you feeling okay this morning? Yeah? After 3 long, hard years in the boatyard and another year making her our home, to be sailing Spoondrifter out of the country feels almost unreal. We've heard from so many of you with similar dreams, and we want to assure you it is worth it. You can do it. Don't give up. The motor is off.
Okay, we can bring this carpet up here and wash it off with the hose, okay?
Well, it's a little bumpy. The cat has puked. I don't know what we're gonna do for her. I feel really bad because like this isn't super bad. The winds and the waves are going to settle down as we get further along our course. We are so glad we have a watermaker because it makes cleaning this up easier. So there's that big storm passing behind us. Because of that, we, as we came out of the bridge, we put up our sail, but we put them up reefed. Whoa! You okay?
I didn't get wet.
That's why you're supposed to have a life vest on when you go out there. Those kind of things can knock you over.
winds.
Anyway, we're reefed because we weren't sure how much wind we were going to get from these guys behind us. So right now we have 13 in our beam. We're going 3.5 knots.
So we're going 5.5 knots.
Not anymore.
Hello, Liberty Boo.
Hey, you feeling all right?
Hi, puppy. How are you?
What did you say?
Acting for something, yes, that would be it. Back to the window in his office on the 9th floor. Though people down in the street did. Totally normal, owl-free. He'd forgotten all about the people in clothes.
Florida is over there. We are about to cross the reef to put us out into deeper water to get us over to the Gulf Stream to go to the Bahamas. This is kind of scary. Crossing a reef is always scary to me, but we got to kind of watch anyway. There have been some crab pots still out here. Crab pots everywhere. Yeah. Getting ready to leave the United States of America. Wow. Crazy. In a boat. Our own boat.
Touching her nose to open a bag of every flavour. You know, you get out a Google flavoured one once. Time eating the every flavour beans. He keeps getting away from me. So would I lose it as quick as I could? Harry and Ron were followed into them. Young Abigail was the first person.
We like to do our shift changes at sunset and sunrise, like we were doing every 4 hours. So, but we do it so that if we needed to reef or shake out the reefs, we can. Todd just went downstairs for his first sleep. I had a couple hours of rest. I don't know how much I actually slept. Wasn't tired enough. We're not reefing tonight, as we're supposed to have really light winds. About what we're having right now, which it says it's 9 to 10 on our beam. It's sailing us along at 6.2. I think we're also probably have a knot from the Gulf Stream at this point. And as you can see, I am not in my winter gear. See, I'm actually in shorts, so it's nice.
Alright, it's 1 a.m. and I'm on my watch right now. So right now I have these two ships going on right here. I got that guy there as a cruise ship. This guy here is a cruise ship. There's Bimini right there. So that's where we're going. I'm actually pointed this way. Now this guy behind me is going to pass behind me, so I don't have to worry about him. But this guy up in the front, I've been kind of nervous about because he totally looks like we're going to be crossing bows. And here's him with his vector, direction he's going. We're not even going to pass close to each other. But I'm actually pointed this way, which is why I'm seeing him on my left side. So the chart does not show me which way I'm pointed. It shows me which way the boat is actually traveling across the ground. It's disconcerting in the dark when you have these lights and these ships because it looks like I'm going to hit them, but it's because I'm pointed at them, but I'm actually sliding kind of sideways because the Gulf Stream is pushing us north. We've kind of lost our wind, 2.3 knots. You can see how the indicator's going all over. That's because it's so light that every time we hit a wave it changes things a little bit, you know. So we are doing a bit of motor sailing. I've got about 600 RPMs. I'm probably only pulling about, I don't know, 20 amps, 30 amps on the motor or something like that. not too bad. It's keeping us going about 3.8 to 4 knots of speed. It's kind of peaceful out here. We got a bit of a moon. See the moon up there?
All right, well, Todd just went to bed and it's my shift. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock in the morning. I had 5 ships, 4 cruise ships, and a tanker to deal with. Todd played Frogger. He has been like my hero. I'm so glad he had to do it. Like 12 or 15 different ships that he was dodging. Having AIS on our chart plotter has been a huge game changer. We do not transmit. We are getting picked up on radar. I just contacted a 300-foot pleasure craft, super yacht, because we were going to be within a quarter mile of him, and I couldn't tell if he was going to go behind us or in front of us, so I just called him on the radio, and he's like, yeah, I see you on our radar. I'll turn a little to port and give you a little more room. It's super calm. We have like 2 knots of wind. The seas are like glass. We have the motor on, but just barely. If we don't have it on, we're actually getting swept too far north because we're in the Gulf Stream too long. So we're going about 4.5 knots. Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. We're 4.5 hours away from arriving in Bimini. Since it's Sunday and they charge extra to come to customs on the weekend, we'll just put up our Q flag and not go to shore today and go in the morning. I'm tired. Not exhausted, just tired. This was actually a really good crossing. It's been pretty easy, but I almost hate to say that. Let's see, I've got some wood over here I'll knock on. Don't want to jinx it before we're there. There's the aftermath of corn nuts, soda pop, potato chips, cookies, the snacks and munchies that you use to keep yourself going in the middle of the night.
Morning, everybody. Got a nice big tanker over there. We are approaching Bimini. We got land ho right over here. I think it's about 2.5 hours to get in there, is what it's looking like. Not a bad passage. We did have to motor for a bit of it, but hey, we're almost there. You believe that? We're almost there.
All right, we have a problem. As we're coming into Bimini, we considered that we would just keep moving because we have good winds to go to the berries instead of stopping here. And as we headed around the north side of the island, we realized that our depth center is not working. And it was flashing depth, which can happen when it's too deep. And we were definitely too deep. But Todd turned it off, turned it back on again, and it's not repopulating. We're still, 350 feet. So
yeah, 456 right here, I guess.
So we're not sure if it's actually broken or just too deep. We turned around and we are going into Bimini. The biggest challenge with going into Bimini right now is we have some light winds from the west and some swell. What do you think?
What do I think, huh? I don't know. We just talked to a catamaran that came out of the entrance of the harbor, and he said it was fine because they say don't go in with any westward component or westward swell. But he said it was fine, but he is also a catamaran, so I don't know. We'll see how it looks when we get over closer to the harbor entrance. And swell isn't too bad, except that we pulled all of our sails down to get into the harbor here, so we're bouncing around a lot more than we normally do.
We've got another sailboat headed this way. Anyways, this is unexpected drama. I don't think drama's ever expected.
That's what I was going to say. If it's planned drama, it's definitely fake. This is definitely real.
Yeah, it's very real and very stressful.
Because here's the thing: is we were about to go around onto the Great Bahama Bank, right? Which is shallow. We need a depth finder for that because we have a 5.5 foot draft. It's kind of dangerous for us to not.
We would have been okay on the track we were taking, but to get into the berries, we would need our depth sounder. And coming in here, we have friends who have given us really good directions. They've given us their track coming in. They've given us where they anchored. So we have really good information here about what we can do if the depth sounder doesn't start working.
I have a big lead weight on a string, and it's kind of like a fishing line, right? So if you just toss it over and you know how deep it is, maybe hold it down to 7 feet, just hold on to it. When it goes plump, and you feel it on your hands, you know you're at 7 feet. That should be enough, right?
Anyway.
I'm sure that's how they did it in the old days.
They anchored way out and rode in.
You're right.
And they crashed a lot more often.
Yes, they did that too.
Hey, that's a catch in their full sail over there. Okay, we're gonna get back to this and we'll let you know how it goes. What's the news?
The depth finder has found depth.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
88 feet. So we had to wait till we got to shallow enough water for it to work. But now that we're here, we're going to call this a sign to say, hey, we needed to spend a few days in Bimini. We are grateful that it is working again.
Yeah, the last time that we had a problem with the depth sounder, it was broken. The display was broken. We're very, very grateful that is not the case. We had a family prayer and asked for the Lord's blessing, and He came through. And you can say that, well, it would have worked anyways. I choose to give God the glory. Okay, we're coming in to Bimini, North Bimini Harbor. We've been told by others that some of the markers aren't right coming in here, and to follow the sonar chart off Navionics that it's correct. There's warnings on the chart that the markers are not maintained. So that's a whole weird thing. Like, you see the markers and that's what you want to follow. We're not sure if they're right or not at this point, but it's kind of sketchy. It's taken us nearly 5 years of working on this old boat to get us here. Thank you to everyone who's cheered us on and helped along the way. Holy cats, you cannot, like, it's like a swimming pool. Closer to the green, dear!
Okay, gotta go up. Abigail, pull yours up until it goes up to the top. Easy. And it's up. Where's your jig? Do your jig. Right? All right, it's up. We're officially in quarantine. All right, watch out.
So what kind of bugs and diseases do you have that you're in quarantine for?
I have worms.
It's late in the afternoon, and since it's the weekend, we will wait and check in the morning. Abigail's going to make us brownies. You're going to make us brownies, Abigail? Where'd she go? She climbed down in her hole. One of the nice things about her bedroom.
Coming with you. No. This is my room.
Well, it's the aftermath of lunch. Are you ready for a nap?
In the aftermath of the passage, yeah, I'm ready for a nap. I was doing okay earlier. I mean, I think we could have kept going, but when you sit down and everything lets down, suddenly you realize how exhausted you really are.
Well, and the adrenaline from the depth sounder thing was a pretty big factor.
The depth sounder thing wasn't as big a deal to me. What was a big a deal was getting in here. That weird coming in, the west wind along the beach that was we were warned about, and then the skinny little channel for like a mile and a half with boats that want to go out, and I'm trying to keep it on. I can look over here and I can see the shallow right there. It's like the bottom goes down, and right here there's a ledge, and I'm right like that far away from the ledge. That was nerve-wracking.
Over here is Bimini Bay Marina, and some kind of world resort something or other over here. We've got music coming from their pool, and then there's the reality of the Bahamas. It's all just mixed in.
Yep. You got the postcard over there and the blue collar working man over here. Right?
So, folks, we did it. We have made it to another country. We haven't checked in yet. We'll do that next Sunday. Talk to you later.
So I'm in this anchorage and I'm looking at my anchor and looking at the water. I can see the bottom, and then I see this.
What?
The Deathly Hallows symbol. Almost.